officers who speak like human rights defenders. Because to be honest, we can actually close down amnesty if 110,000 police officers believed in human rights and they protected human rights, isn't it? Yeah. We could close amnesty. So we must continue to remind them that it is human rights that is at the basis, it is at the center of their responsibility to Kenyans. You cannot read more than 2 minutes of a law to do with policing without coming across the word of human rights. So on today, the International Day of the Disappeared, we have an obligation to reach out to them to say that it is not possible under our Constitution, even if we know it is happening. It is not acceptable under our Constitution for people to disappear for 2 or 3 days. It is not possible under our Constitution for 450 people to disappear in Shakahola. It is not possible for people, up to 30, 40 people, to float down rivers in this republic if we have a constitution that lives and breathes. So the question we also have to ask ourselves is, why is this not happening? What do we need to do as citizens to keep each other safe? Now, one of the things that I think is important to also remind ourselves, if we know our history, if you know the Kenyan history, you will know that enforced disappearances, unfortunately, have been there for over 100 years. Mekatilili Wamenza was enforcibly disappeared. Harry Thuku was taken hundreds of kilometers. He was not taken to a police station next to where he was arrested. He was taken hundreds of kilometers to where he was disappeared, and in fact at some point he was put on an island because they feared him. The former governor of Makueni County, Governor Emeritus Kivona Kibwana, was also a victim of enforced disappearances. J.M. Kariuki, that leader, that shujaa of ours, was also forcibly disappeared, and unfortunately he died a terrible death. Cleophas Malala, the Secretary General of the United Democratic Alliance, Kenya Kwanza, and now a member of the cabinet, he was also forcibly disappeared. I remember writing a statement calling for his release. Dennis Itumbi, Cabinet Administrative Secretary, was also disappeared. You see where I'm going with this? Meona? Okay. Boniface Akach, let us not forget a human rights defender in Kisumu recently. He was picked up in Subarus, he disappeared for several hours, and it took another human rights defender to find him. And the question we need to ask ourselves is, if all of this is happening and we have a constitution, what is going wrong? Samson Tekle Michael, an Ethiopian in his 30s, he has been a resident in this country for 18 years. Do you know we are coming to the 3rd year when we do not have an explanation for his wife and his children what happened? Yet he was picked on a Friday afternoon on Oloitotok Road in Kilimani in broad daylight by police officers. Let us turn to the one that is occupying our attention today. The billionaire. Jaswant Rai. A very wealthy man. A very powerful man. A man who has had dinner and has eaten and has spoken with heads of states, not just the last one, but even this one. Somebody who is known to the establishment. But yet the same thing can happen to him as happens to the young men and women of Mathare. And the question we have to ask, if we do not protect for all of this country against enforced disappearances, then what are we doing? So today, I offer you our solidarity as Amnesty International. We will continue to speak fearlessly on this issue because we know that it is in our history, it is in the struggle to stop disappearances and arbitrary detentions that we created a country and a constitution that is looked at from across the world with respect. even when we do not respect it sometimes here. So we will continue to do this work. Allow me to just invite very quickly a board member of Amnesty International here. We are also here with staff. Let me just see if I can get them